Moving on, as the 2019 general election draws nearer, more politicians have continued to come out with their interest to run for the nation's presidential race. Kabiru Turaki is another aspirant that made his intention known to run under the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in Lagos. As the 2019 general election draws nearer, it appears that the competition is getting tougher. This time, it is another presidential aspirant who has visited the People's Democratic Party (PDP) Secretariat in Lagos. He is Kabiru Turaki. Unexpectedly, members of the People's Democratic Party had an interactive session with him where they questioned him on what he will do if he gets the party's ticket.
It's not about me. It's not about our chairman, our leader. Neither is it about us here. It's about Nigeria. And today Nigerians are looking upon PDP to save them. Save them from hunger, save them from poverty, save them from insecurity. Just as they are begging that we save them from nepotism, from despotism and discrimination.
Chairman of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in Lagos State, Moshood Salvador, was quick to also quiz him on some aspects of the state.
We have a special request in Lagos State. In the history of this country, we are the one that has water. The control of NPA has never been in the hands of Lagosian. Never in history. We have the population in Lagos State. Never in history has a Southwesterner been Director General of Immigration. I want His Excellency to put all these things down. And we have Lagos was a former capital of this country. We are entitled to special budgetary allocation. We call it special, just for the maintenance of all the infrastructure put in Lagos.
Responding, he spoke about his passion for restructuring, amongst others.
We must rise to take our destiny in our hands. And as leaders, we have the responsibility not only to make decisions and correct decisions for that matter, but as shepherds, we must also guide our flock. We must guide our followers. We must guide them to do what is right at all times. We are determined. We are resolute, just like Nigerians are resolute. And I tell you that the partnership between PDP and Nigerians is a partnership that had worked before and yielded strong positive dividends. And that partnership will work again.
Other party stalwarts also had one or two things to chip in.
The product we are bringing to become your presidential candidate or our presidential candidate is a product that is sellable. It's a product that can deliver. He has paid his dues in politics. He has contested. In some cases, he has won, but was taken away from him.
If we are talking about quality, if we are talking about substance, if we are talking about integrity, if we are talking about quality that would deliver this party from the present predicament it has found itself, if we are indeed bitterly disturbed by the situation we have found ourselves and have learned sufficient lessons for remedy, then I think this afternoon is an opportunity for us to reconcile what our mindsets are with what we will listen to.
No doubt, Nigerians are not happy with the situation in the country. And with the election drawing nearer, it is only natural that many would come out and declare their interest. You will recall that Sule Lamido was once in Lagos also to declare his interest. Now it is Turaki. It remains to be seen who will eventually become the presidential flag bearer of the party. Only time will tell. Now, the Senate has urged the Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, the police and other relevant security agencies to cooperate with Lagos and other states in ensuring that drivers of articulated vehicles comply with traffic rules. This is sequel to the point of order raised by lawmaker Benga Ashafa, who cited orders 42 and 52 to draw the attention of the Senate to the unfortunate accident of a petrol tanker that led to an inferno in the state.
There is an urgent need to enforce strict driving rules and rules.
It's very sad because of the lives that were lost, and some families up till now, some families.
The tankers are right in the heart of the cities. If you go to Apapa, you will be served for this country. If there's a explosion at Apapa.
There is an urgent need to enforce strict driving rules and rules.
It's very sad because of the lives that were lost, and some families up till now, some families.
The tankers are right in the heart of the cities.
Now, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, in Edo State has taken a positive step towards ensuring that the electorate collect the abandoned permanent voters card, PVCs, and its various outlets in the state. The leader of the service corps, Shadrach Shokube, said their mandate is to join others in ensuring electorates in the state are informed.
A mandate to go and educate the public, and Ring Road is our aim, so we can actually talk to them to go and collect the permanent voters card. With the information we got, about 78,000 voters cards were released to Edo State. It's only 6,000 something that was collected, so it's a poor collection, which is about 7.8%. So what we are going out to do there is to go and tell the general public to go and collect their permanent voters card, which is their right, and that is what Servicom stands for.
Those who have age how to collect their PVC, how to register. And also we have other pamphlets on how to vote during the election, or what you have to do with your PVC, how to keep it safe.
In another development, Nigerian citizens have been urged to get their permanent voters cards, PVCs, ahead of the 2019 general elections. This appeal was made by some politicians at an occasion to honor public office holders who had performed excellently in office, the report. An event to honor public office holders who have done well from the past and present, but it turned out into a political campaign ground as these politicians took over the stage at the mention of the last awardee, who is a former vice president of Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar, though he was represented by former Minister of Works, Adesheye Ogunlewe. Speaking on the present state of Nigeria, the call for a better government where the executive works hand in hand with the legislature and the judiciary.
It is because there is no synergy between the legislature and the executive. Fortunately for us, they are members of the same political party, but they don't work together. And once things like that happen, it is the nation that will suffer. There are several bills in the National Assembly that will have affected the lives of Nigerians. But because there is nobody that is at least, monitoring all these bills, it will be there almost forever. Because you have to lobby, you have to explain to them, you have to be with them to be able to at least agree with you on so many issues. So it is critical for the two arms of government to work together. But as long as they don't work together, Nigerians will be suffering.
This is a time we need to gather people together and talk about Nigeria, and have people who will work for the interests of Nigeria, people who will promote the project Nigeria. At this point in time, we don't need men who are just there for personal gains or peculiar interests.
It's bad. People are dying. For me, the hunger is not even the issue, but the death of people are dying every day. It's disheartening. It pains me, There are some time ago, I was born in Sokoto State anyway. I can remember, you know, the north is very hot. And people can open their windows, put their mats outside and sleep. And then nothing happens, you know, but you can't do that now.
People are really suffering. The youths, the women, no lights, promising, fail. All what we said in 2015 by Buhari, everything was fail, fake. And we can't continue by that. We have to vote for another person. We have to change the system.
For these ones, they urged citizens to get their permanent voters card to change the sitting president.
Nigeria has the potentials to be great again, and Nigeria has all it takes to become one of the greatest in the world. And we are hoping that by coming 2019, if all the youth of this country can get their voters registration card, they should go out in mass to vote. We believe that Nigeria will be great again if we diligently elect a good president that will represent us.
Last 3 years, we have had a massive unemployment. A lot of people have been sacked out of job. The economy is going down. Things are not as it is. And perhaps if you have not issue of security, the middle, north central is in crisis, it's anarchy everywhere. People hardly sleep with their 2 eyes closed. Because of poor security, the actual security of this government is very poor. So we need new vibrant leadership. The important thing, get your PVC, that is your gun. With your PVC, you
change the certain president. Only time will tell. And our report says a new faction of the All Progressives Congress, APC, has emerged in Abuja. The new faction is made up of aggrieved members of the APC, mostly from the National Assembly, and has Buba Galadima as their chairman. I will bring you details tomorrow. And now coming up on the news in business. Central Bank of Nigeria indexed $210 billion into interbank foreign exchange market. That is of this and more coming up shortly. Many thanks for staying with us. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has injected a sum of $210 million into the interbank foreign exchange market. The Acting Director of Corporate Communications Department, CBN, Isaac Okorafor, who disclosed this, reassured the public that the bank will continue to intervene in the interbank forex market in line with its quest to sustain liquidity in the market and maintain stability. The federal government has charged stakeholders in the oil and gas sector to be more committed to improving the industry. A Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Ibe Kachiko, who discussed this at the 2018 Nigeria Oil and Gas and International Exhibition in Abuja, urged stakeholders in the sector to come up with strategies aimed at developing the industry.
We must be able to leave this conference feeling that we've been re-energized. We've been renewed. We've set new benchmarks that were way above the performance indexes that we're used to. That for me will be the new normal. A new normal in which cost of production is low and competitive. A new normal in which transparency continues to be the benchmark. A new normal in which time for approving contracts, times for projects to take off is shortened dramatically. A new normal in which all of us collectively are taking responsibility for host community issues and not just leaving it to government. A new normal in which our refineries work and our refining capacity exceeds not just what is needed for local consumption provision, but that we can take on the huge opportunity that is developing in the whole of West Africa and Africa.
While the Federal Executive Council, FEC, has ratified the automatic exchange of information between Nigeria and other countries in its pursuit of tax defaulters, Chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, Babatunde Fowler, disclosed this to journalists after a session at the FEC meeting held in Abuja. And in international news, former Malaysian Prime Minister Najib Razak has denied corruption charges over the disappearance of